Yo, what's up, everybody? And today we have another special guest. This is Eric from Triple Play Fantasy. They have 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, and they work with fantasy football and stuff. So today we're going to be working with another fantasy football video like we did with Jamie last time. It's going to be a buy low, sell high. So for our player today, it's going to be, do we buy low on Robert Woods, buy low on Ronald Jones, and then for selling high on Cordell Patterson, and selling high on Cooper Kupp. So let's start off with buying low on Robert Woods. Eric, give us your take on this.
Yeah, so Robert Woods was a popular, probably 4th, 5th round pick coming into this year. And Cooper Kupp has stolen the show for sure. But I really think it's a good time to buy low on Robert Woods. Right now, going into the Monday night game, Matthew Stafford is 3rd in the NFL in passing yards. Derek Carr will probably overtake him. So the volume is there. He has 4.966 for target-wise in his 4 games. He has a new quarterback. It's going to take a little bit of time to get rapport. And I look at the other wide receivers and pass catchers. Deshaun Jackson doesn't have a track record of staying healthy. Robert Woods has been on the team the longest besides Cooper Kupp. Actually, I think they came in the same year. A lot of people are frustrated with the production he's had, and he hasn't been a bust like Allen Robinson. Robert Woods has 2 touchdowns on the year. So I think this is a perfect buy low opportunity.
Yeah, I could definitely agree with that because Robert Woods, he had a very good year the year before last year, but last year did not have the best year. But I think I can definitely see with the new QB, I think he can be very good again. Henry, what's your take on this?
I think Cooper Kupp has definitely stolen the show in LA.
This is Robert Woods. We're talking about.
I know. I'm saying that I think now would be a good time to go for Robert Woods because everyone's so on Cooper Kupp. I mean, Cooper Kupp has had a very great first 3-4 weeks, looking like one of the top receivers. So I don't know if Cooper Kupp's going to keep up that production, and it seems like Robert Woods' value right now is at an all-time low. So I think now is a very good time to go for him because he used to be the receiver number 1 in LA. And with Eric said, with a new QB, I think it'll take some time getting used to. So I think now is a great time to go for him. And I like Robert Woods, so I'm hoping he has better numbers in the upcoming weeks.
Yeah. All right. So for our next player, we're gonna do a sell high. Let's go to Cordell Patterson, who just came off a very good game against Washington and had a decent game. I'm pretty sure he had a decent game against Tampa, if I could check. But yeah, I think what he's at right now, his value is so low. I think Atlanta Falcons team, who doesn't really have much guys outside of Calvin Ridley, Kyle Pitts has not done much so far, as it seems. I think, Cordell Patterson he's a progressive, and you should definitely get him low before he gets higher as the season goes on. Eric, what's your take on this?
So he's actually a sell high candidate for me. And you mentioned he's probably coming off one of the best games of his career. But if you look deeper into the game, and I live in the Washington, D.C. area, he only played 21 of the 71 offensive snaps. And he ran a passing route on 12 out of the 44 passing attempts yesterday. Now, where he really got his value yesterday was he had 3 receiving touchdowns. But the first one was busted coverage between the Washington football secondary where Cordell Patterson was wide open. And the second one was poor tackling. And I think as someone that has watched the Washington football team a lot this year, you look at the Mike Davis touchdown, they missed 4 tackles on that. The one where Matt Ryan threw it down and essentially stiff arm Chase Young out of the way. So you can't rely on those things, I think, happening again. Cordell Patterson, I think, is a better real life football player than fantasy. I think he has flex value, but right now he's running back number 2 in PPR format. So his value isn't going to get any higher than that, in my opinion. I think it's the time to sell high.
Yeah, I meant sell high. Sorry. Henry, what's your thought on this?
Cordell Patterson's one of those running backs. You never know, especially since he's on the Falcons. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Their other running back, Mike Davis.
Yeah.
I believe Mike Davis is actually pretty good running back, as we saw when he took over McCaffrey's place last year when he was injured. So I think I'm selling him right now because I don't have much hope in Cordero Patterson. He's not really a great running back. I mean, he's had very good weeks, but that's also because you're in Atlanta. So I think right now you'd be able to get okay value for Cordero Patterson, which I would definitely take because I definitely don't think he's gonna have another great week. I don't know.
All right. For our next guy, it's gonna be buying low on Ronald Jones. My answer to this is I would say no because I think he is a decent RB2, but I think Leonard Fournette is there to stay at RB1. Coming off, his amazing playoff run last year, he has looked better in the beginning of the season than he looked in the regular season last year. So I think, Fournette's he's gonna be very good. I don't know about very good. But definitely better than what Ronald Jones was last year. Ronald Jones was actually decent. That's also because Fournette didn't really do much. But that's my thought on it. Eric, what's your thought on this?
Yeah, so I have Ronald Jones as a buy low candidate, and look, his value probably isn't going to get any lower. I've seen people throw his names out that he's droppable in redraft, but I think Ronald Jones can get value from two ways. The first is any injury to Leonard Fournette. Obviously, Fournette is the favorite right now, but he's had some nagging injuries. He's also had some team misconduct in the past where he's gotten suspended by the Jaguars. But also, Ronald Jones can get trade value if he gets, or can get value if he gets traded to another team. And what we've seen is a lot of running backs, the 49ers, Cam Akers, Joe Mixon looks like he might miss a couple weeks. David Montgomery is the running back position is probably one of the most injury prone in the NFL. And if the Bucs aren't utilizing Ronald Jones and they get a really good offer for him, they might be tempted to ship him. So you can then get a potentially starting running back, down the home stretch and when the playoffs are happening for pennies on the dollar right now. Once again, it's just speculative, but you probably don't have to give up a lot to get Ronald Jones, and he could be somebody that could be a league winner.
Yeah. All right. Henry, what's your take on this?
Yeah, I think he is. I think he is a buy low candidate. I mean, it really depends. Leonard Fournette is getting a lot more snaps than Ronald Jones is, which is obviously a little issue if you're relying on Ronald Jones in your league. But I think Ronald Jones could definitely come in if Fournette gets hurt, which, Eric said, the running backs are most injury prone in the league, and I think just off of Leonard Fournette's history, Ronald Jones could get some more playing time this year. I think, especially after that touchdown last night, you never know what you're gonna get. It's like the situation I saw with Zach Moss and Devin Singletary. Either one of them's gonna have a good game, or the other one's gonna have a good game. So you never know with them. So I think he is a buy low candidate. I think right now he's a bench player for me, but he could definitely be there if you ever need him.
Yeah. Now for our last candidate, Cooper Kupp. I'm having him as a sell high. Cooper Kupp it's going to be very hard for Cooper Kupp to maintain the numbers that he has right now because, first of all, most receivers cannot do what he's doing in a 17-game season. Now 17 games. Was before 16 games. But the point being is that he's not going to be able to maintain these numbers. Also considering the fact how the Rams have other weapons as well. Robert Woods. They have Deshaun Jackson, I'm pretty sure. Higbee's not terrible. He's on he can be good. But I think Cooper Kupp will finish the season as a good receiver. But I think his value is very high right now that he should be sold in the next couple weeks. If he keeps having like huge games, like one or two more, I think you just sell him. You can get so much for him right now, and it's going to pay off at the end. That's how I feel personally. Eric, what do you think about this?
No, I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head, Jacob. I mean, right now he's the PPR wide receiver one, and he's the only wide receiver in the NFL through the first 4 weeks that has at least 10 plus targets in every single game. So that's kind of Devontae Adams-esque target share. And Devontae Adams is the clear number one on Green Bay. And it's kind of a pecking order for who's number two. And you mentioned the Rams have a lot of good receiving weapons. Robert Woods, we talked about, is a buy low candidate. Tyler Higbee has played a lot of or whenever he is playing, the majority of his snaps, he's running routes. Deshaun Jackson is a home run threat. Van Jefferson has been getting snaps as well. And I think they're going to start using Sony Michel more. They did trade a third round, I think either a third or a fifth round pick for him. And they haven't really had much of a running game. So I think it's now the perfect time to sell high. I mean, he's the number one wide receiver right now. His value won't be any higher. I think he probably will finish the year as a top 10. But if you have a position, if you need a running back or if you have really low depth, he can get you probably 2 to 3 startable players and flip him while his trade value is at its peak.
Yeah. I definitely can see what you mean by that. Henry, what's your take on this?
Yeah, I'm definitely selling Cooper Kupp. So, yeah, for example, like right now I'm in a 10-person league. I have Cooper Kupp at the flex because my receiver stacked. I got Devontae Adams and DeAndre Hopkins, and my running backs are not great. I have injured Josh Jacobs and Zach Moss. So I think now is a great time to get rid of him since my receiver is already stacked out. I think you could get someone amazing. I might actually put in a trade for a good running back after this. So, yeah, I think he's obviously been the top receiver so far, except the Rams have other weapons, so you never know who's going to do good. So I think he is a very high sell high candidate right now. So, yeah, I think you can get so much value from him.
Yeah, that'll wrap up this episode. Thank you.